Another God rejected. Well, you might know what kind of game we are talking about since you've seen the title of this video, but still, I have completed the SMT3 Nocturne, the legendary JRPG, and here I am to share my feelings, thoughts about it, and overall share some joy out of the experience that I had. Well, the game is more than 20 years old. It is a staple of the genre, and it is surely a good game. This particular game gave birth to the featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series meme, which is nice in its own. But it shows the awkwardness and some kind of naive cringiness in a good way, of course. How some niche Japanese games have been entering the Western markets. And that's pretty much what this game's history is about, right? When it was released on the West in the 2004, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me on that if you want. It already had some additional content that was released later in Japan, and it was, I believe, it wasn't translated right in some issues. They called menorahs candelabrums. It was unnecessarily complex, I believe. And of course, the SMT series up to this point and many other games of Atlas of the developer, they were made for for domestic markets, not for international ones. So this game was a turning point, and it wasn't a turning point from the development. It was this game showed Atlus how their next kind of direction that they might take. And yeah, that's about it. The game is certainly edgy. I mean, not every game starts literally from the end of the world, which you partake in. And the SMT series, Shin Megami Tensei series, if you want, routinely takes some very hard and difficult topics like religion, relationships between men, natural, supernatural, what is good, and what is, of course, evil. And that is what many fans always liked about the series, because not many series not only try to mix elements from the modern setting with the fantasy setting, but also push it to the philosophical extent, as this game, as I said before, routinely does. It's what it is all about. Uh, but I wouldn't say that this game has some kind of philosophical or conceptual superiority to some good RPGs from the West. I mean, if you've played Fallout New Vegas or some other games, you can pretty much see that uh, it it's not that Japanese think about better topics. I think it all becomes it all depends on an execution. That's what I believe in. So, from the start, if you haven't played any SMT game before, I will tell you upfront, this is the game for experienced JRPG players, and I don't mean to demean those of you who have played some difficult games in your life and you play only the games that really interest you. You know, you're not the casual gamer, and you're not the usual gamer. You are, you play sometimes. That's not to demean you specifically. What I mean is, this game really depends on you understanding staples of the genre, the dynamic of gameplay. Also, it has, I believe they have invented the press turn system for this game specifically. The SMT games before didn't have that. Press turn system is a system. Uh, it is a battle system for JRPGs when depending on how many allies you have on your side, that's how many turns you have, and depending on how many enemies you have, that's how many turns they have, and depending on your actions and their results, you may spend your side's turns in some way, and the enemy, you know, it follows the same rules. And it is a very interesting system. If I haven't completed Metaphor, last month, put 100 hours into that, I believe I still wouldn't have understand the press turn system accordingly if I would have played this game, because there are some niche, dynamics, like if the damage is blocked, it drains two turns, but if it is repelled, it drains all of them. It is like potato tomato. It feels like the same thing, but it actually is not. So, if you haven't played any JRPGs before, I strongly recommend playing something mainstream. Mainstream isn't necessarily bad, it can be very good. I have played Final Fantasy X, I have completed Final Fantasy X even last year, and it was beneficial for my experience here as well. Saying that, as I said concerning Final Fantasy X before, it was not my first time tackling the game. I have played Final Fantasy X for several times during my years. I have my physical copy here. But the same, no, not entirely the same. I didn't have physical copy, but I tried Nocturne before. I have tried it on the emulator a couple of times, and I believe that just as it happened with Yakuza Kiwami 2 last time, as I mentioned several times ago, I also drunkly watched cutscene compilation on Nocturne. Therefore, as I have completed the game, I have a lot to remember. But thankfully, I didn't remember much during my time playing, so I didn't spoil to myself anything. So, the rule of forgetting something so I could experience it anew, it worked for me. But still, if you wish to tackle the game, I recommend you go, as you would, pick whatever dialogue options you want, do whatever you want, and get the ending you will get. After that, you can either replay the game, or watch the cutscenes on YouTube, which is I think it is better, because the game gets tiring sometimes because of its gameplay formula. It's not the game that I would replay soon. That is for sure. So it was pretty much what I expected. So that was cool. I have played new HD version. It was released 4 to 5 years ago on Steam and consoles, I believe, but can't say, I'm not sure about that. And it was good. I liked it. First of all, let's talk pros. First one, I like having games like this on Steam. If by some, miracle I would want to revisit it, I have my opportunity to do so, and I will have my own save files on cloud, so I can just play game plus, of my last save. That is neat. Also, game has a very noticeable PS2 visual style to it, and of course, interface style. Um, it sometimes it uses bloom or something. Uh, sometimes in the dramatic events or in some dungeons, uh, the models of people, be it protagonists or something else, they can move like ghosts. It sounds weird, but I've experienced the same on the original Final Fantasy X. I don't believe I did the same in the HD version, but here you can have it. It's part of the package, and I really enjoyed it because I like the aesthetic. I mean, I think some people don't like those kinds of tools. They think they are cheap, but I think they were just overdone during the time. And when they were done properly, they look very good and aesthetically pleasing. Also, what is also neat, I think, is that the new HD version has voiceover. I even, I wanted to check out other endings because I forgot them. And as I thought, uh, the original PS2 version lacked voiceover. New HD version has it. Also, it has an option between Japanese and the English one, and even though I prefer my, Persona games and Metaphor with the English dub, because over the years they had some talented voice actors, or at least, many memes were born. It was always enjoyable. Here I wanted something more, in tune with the original vision of the game. The game was made fully for domestic market. I don't believe they expected this game to be released in the West when they were developing it. I really don't. The whole game is like, running around the ruins of Tokyo, for Christ's sake. It's. I enjoy Japanese. That's what I meant. Forget about it. Fuck you. Alright. Cons. Cons of an HD editions are that is, some people mention it, and I fully agree with that, with them, is that music is still as compressed as it was on PS2. As the battle track starts, the quality of sound drops significantly. When you're walking in the dungeons and you hear some kind of echoes of your footsteps, something like that, the music is really flat, even though some tracks are quite good. Uh, and it's kind of weird because I usually commend OSTs and sounds of the games that I enjoy. You can see it on my channel. It is basically one of the main reasons for me choosing a new game, making sure that it sounds good. And this game, I think it was lazy from Atlas to not, do better on that part. If they had, done two kinds of dubs for the game, they surely could have put, better versions of tracks into the game. And I don't mean like remixes, I mean like the ones that they have sold as CDs, over to Japan. I believe there are some of them. So it's not, the lost cause. Also, there is an issue of the DLC. Let me be clear. You can buy game with two packages. The normal one and the deluxe edition. Deluxe edition has that previously mentioned Dante from DLC DMC series. Forgive me for that. And why the hell you should pay extra for the remaster of the game? Specifically because most of the people, especially on the West, who have played the game, they have experienced it with the DLC. Well, the developers throw you a bone on this one, and they give you the same DLC for free, but they don't include it into the game. They include it into the DLC section on Steam. So, if if you are not, if you don't have, if you don't know about the issue, or if you don't notice it by accident, as I did, thankfully I noticed it before playing the game. You can just have like 20% or even more, 25% of the game just cut off. Uh, but yeah, you can just add this free DLC with Raido Kuzunoha from. It's a prominent character from the other Atlas games of the SMT series, spin-off SMT series, and he kind of you know it's either him or Dante, but for Dante you have to pay, and for him you don't have to. Guess who I have chosen? No, it's nothing like that. I just thought that Raido, it felt more natural in the world of the game for me. Also, I believe that Raido was made first, and Dante was more like a skin that was put onto him for the Western audiences, for the commercial purposes. But I guess I was wrong. If I have checked correctly, then Dante was first, and Raido was, made, as part of the promotion for their Raido game. It's so weird, but these kinds of stories put, a lot of perspective into your mind. Still, if you intend to play, you have to put that DLC. Even though, and I will I will elaborate on that matter later. Uh, some would say that these would demean your, experience. I think DLC is a mixed bag. Also, what is a con of the game is that game is locked on 30 FPS, and there are some graphical issues that aren't very liked by the fans. But I have played it as is, and I haven't noticed anything bad. For me, it was like an authentic PS2 experience, but it was stretched, and some of the textures were slightly more clean, and I have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it, and I don't know if you like your games to look soapy clean, go ahead and download some mods. There are some guides on Steam that can direct you into the right directions on that part. But I think some kind of some of these parts of concerning looks of the game, they add to the atmosphere of it. As I mentioned, those blur and those kinds of features. They are part of the vibe for me. I like that stuff. So I'm not the kind of guy that would argue about that. Now, concerning the game itself, not its HD release, but as a whole. Well, the good things are that the game was developed and released during the time of the big question. Uh, During the 2000s, and I mean early 2000s, a lot of people were talking about are the video games and art. Sometimes that question still pops up, but I think all of us, experienced gamers, can agree that yes, video games most certainly can be an art form. It doesn't necessarily have to be. There are many games that are far from an art form. Anything that demands a lot of microtransactions on your phone, I think, is pretty much not an art form. In most cases, it diminishes your experience with unnecessary mercantile, um, connection between the player and the game. I don't like it, but this game is certainly is. Art style of Kazuma Kaneko is phenomenal. I really like it. It is nothing like anything else. It is really difficult to see something like it, and I don't mean only the concept arts of the characters, main hero, but I mean also designs of most of the demons. They look gorgeous. They look very stylish, and they give their particular vibe very good. And also, I think each artist, he has his own not only style, but he he has his own direction, and I think Kazuma Kaneko has beautiful direction. All of his arts look very beautiful. You wouldn't necessarily see something funny if it wasn't cute. That's what I mean. Even though one of the, if not the main antagonist of the game, has a very funny hairline. He has a very cool suit, and some kind of thing on his wrist. I I think Kazuma Kaneko is a very cool artist, and I am sad that he doesn't work on games much anymore. He kind of does on some games. He does some work for like Persona games, for SMT5, for Metaphor, for an example, but he wasn't the main guy. No, he was like the contractor, and that is really sad. I think looking at the world through the prism of his eyes is certainly what made the experience of the game magical for me in many ways. I don't know if the composition of some shots in scenes, were also decided by him, but you know, the game looks fucking beautiful. I believe if we could have had the game where he would have done the main bulk of the work, modern kind of game with modern technologies, with the modern polish, with the it could have been great. I think it would have been a trip to the art museum. It would have been badass. The music, you know, let's get back to music. And the music and sounds are overall good. As I said, ambient sounds are pretty cool, and the sounds of melee attacks and spells, they are overall on point. But the music, falls flat because of its compression. There are some cool tracks, and they are spoiled by the presentation in terms of technical issues, and I mean technical issue of sloth of Atlas concerning the game. But yeah, also this significant portion of soundtrack was made by Shoji Meguro. We like Shoji Meguro on this channel, and I don't think that this is his best work, as I didn't thought that Metaphor was his magnum opus. I think he's still the best thing he did was Persona 5, but there were some really good tunes in there, some atmospheric, and it is a beautiful game, not only in terms of looks but in terms of sounds, because of him in many ways. And I didn't check who was responsible for the whole for directorial thing concerning the sounds. He made a very good job too. Also, the very best thing about the game for me is the world. Uh, Not necessarily the story, and not necessarily the characters, but how it was all put together, and what kind of atmospheres and vibes we experienced during all of it. Especially, I really enjoyed mannequins. I don't know if it is if people like mannequins or they hate mannequins. I'm not that deep into the SMT fandom. Exactly for the reason that I always wanted to enjoy the game, but with my own eyes, and only after that talk with people as I had my own opinion on it. But imagine that the whole world is lost. There are only a handful of humans on the earth. Everything else that you have are either demons, or unrested souls of humans. And then you have mannequins that are basically mud dolls of humans. They are really mannequins, mannequins of people. Even though they move kind of weird, They are made of mud, and over the course of the story, they experience the problems and beauty of humanity. You know, they find humanity in themselves, I believe, even though they don't understand it truly. But through the lens of some of the characters, I pretty much liked most of the unnamed characters, such as Collector Mannequin or an old man mannequin, or of course Futamimi and that killer guy. All of them were very interesting, and I think the story was very rich because of that. But not only because of that, there were some interesting demons, there were some interesting characters. I really liked Hijiri, even though his arc wasn't that fulfilling in the end. But I don't want to spoil it much, so I won't go into that. But still, the game was great in terms of the world. The more I played it, the more I enjoyed it. And the experience only enhances as experience the art and the music. It's like there's a bread, there's a butter, there's a meat, and there's not that much of a meat in terms of the story. But the bread and butter are very fresh and very tasty. Also, battle system. I think it is good. I don't think I am a big fan of JRPG genre because of the gameplay, but I think I am among those people that can tolerate the gameplay a lot. Because I think the designers of the fights in JRPGs, they can be very lazy sometimes and do very boring fights. Sadly, in this game, it is also true. There are many boss fights that are boring as hell. They are pretty much the same, random mob that you would find during the random encounter. Speaking of random encounters, if you are not, if you haven't played much of the older JRPGs, welcome to the world of older JRPGs, where random encounters are pretty much, is a done deal with the game. This, this part of the game was getting more and more annoying during the later part. So during the last dungeon rush, I pretty much skipped 90% of the battles. I just retreated on most of them because I knew that I had enough EXP for all the bosses. I felt like I was ready, and I was done with this bullshit, beating the same and the very same demons over and over again, and for nothing. Of course, I could have gotten more EXP, and it would have given me a little bit more of a stats, here and there. But, why would I want to, um, collect or grind, these chests for additional rewards if it wouldn't enhance my experience significantly. I would be like, at best, if I put necessary time, and that is like 3 to 5 more hours into the game, I would be 5%, more ready. You know, that is not, the deal that I'm going to make. So I'm glad that I skipped a lot of it. But overall battle system is good. Press turn system is amazing. I like it very much. But the problem is that the game doesn't really, has doesn't teach you well to play with it. And the other definitely good thing about the game is that this is one of these rare games that make you think about your life when you finish it. You know, certainly many of you have watched some movies, life-changing movies. It doesn't mean they're necessarily life-changing, but they certainly put your life into perspective, and you have to, give yourself some time to think about what you saw and what you think about your own life through the lens of it. And this game gave me this kind of experience. It is a rare thing, but it is really beautiful, and this really sealed the deal for me that this game is an absolute art. It is most certainly an artistic experience, even though the 95% of it was, battling and grind. It is really weird. Now we go to the smelly part, the thing that I didn't really enjoy. Maybe some people do enjoy these things, but I'm not one of them. First off, Maniacs Edition. Nocturne, when it was released about a year later, of course, it has gotten his enhanced edition with the inclusion of the DLC, as I mentioned before. What does this DLC include? It includes Dante or Raido Kuzunoha. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change your experience much, if I believe correctly. It includes the mega dungeon of Amala, Labyrinth of Amala. It gives you, I believe, 10 bosses and several bosses inside the labyrinth. Oh boy. It gives you a bit of lore and absolute clusterfuck of balance. Also, it gives you plus 15 hours into your game. The game kind of overstays its welcome because of it. I think. I think if this game was, like 20 or 25% smaller, it would have been better. Also, okay. Let me get this from the start. For many people, the game, comes to a halt. When you play the game and you have like significant difficulty curve out of nowhere. And it is not a random encounter, it is more like a planned encounter on the existing narrative. Right between your like fourth and fifth location, you are in a small, dungeon going through sewers, and you visit the Matador. Matador is one of, it's not 10, it's 9 fiends, or 8. I don't remember correctly. It's not significant. And they exist for one purpose only: to fuck with you. They exist specifically that Lucifer would test your ass if you are good enough to become his lieutenant, to become his own, right hand man. Therefore, they are much harder than the rest of the game because the menorahs, the candelabras that you get from them are necessary keys that unlock the previously mentioned Labyrinth of Amala. And Labyrinth of Amala is a mega dungeon with five different sections of it. Therefore, you have to beat one section, place a couple more menorahs, and then the next section opens, and you have to beat it again. Each section has its own, rules, gimmicks, and bullshit, mostly bullshit. Also, there is a lot of moving around, and your save point is really far off. Uh, there are two main factors concerning Labyrinth of Amala. First one is that you cannot negotiate with demons. Maybe you could, but the game pretty much from the start told me that the demons over there are not much into joining the party. So I thought like whatever, okay, whenever I am in the Labyrinth of Amala, I will just kill whatever in sight, and I will get normal demons when I will experience the story as it unfolds. And the second thing, that they are harder than what you have at that time in the story. So, on the other hand, they give out a lot of experience. Also, this labyrinth is a maze. Who could have guessed? So when you get lost for a 10th time in a row, you have many opportunities to grind. Therefore, when you are done with another portion of Labyrinth, you come back to the story, and difficulty just it falls like it becomes absolutely easy. It becomes not even easy. It becomes so redundant. It becomes like a chore, and it is somewhat sad. Also, these fiends that I mentioned, or these specific demons that you have to beat on your way to the depths of hell, they have their own descriptor of their type, for they are fiends. And you can craft them only different phases of the moon. I know it's Kagutsuchi, but still. And these fiends, oh my god, even the low level fiends, the ones you could get pretty much early on, they carried me to the end of the game, because they have all kinds of resistances, and they have some bullshit abilities. Their stats are very good too. And me owning them, I felt guilty, because I thought that I'm robbing myself out of an experience concerning bosses, because some bosses, they can shuffle their damage types, pull out some bullshit out of the bag, and you're just like, whatever. I'm not afraid of nothing. I have all kinds of answers, and it only is because I have this DLC. Because if difficulty curve happens, if you get on that curve, it's like it's like an ocean wave, and you're like a surfer. If you're riding it correctly, you have enough exp to experience other battles without much trouble. I died in whole SMT, my completion, like 3 times, I believe. But I played a normal difficulty, of course, and it was intentional. Not me dying, but playing a normal difficulty, because I was afraid that I would overstay my welcome here and this game would fry me out. I do not play these games for much of a challenge, but just to experience it as it is. And normal one is a good experience, I think, but Labyrinth of Amala spoils it a lot. Um, Also, as I mentioned, you also get Dante or Raido as a teammate, as one of the demons that you have in your party. Raido was a menace, and at the end of the game, I had a party that was incredible. It was very strong. It was absolutely strong. Um, Also, when you finish each region of this labyrinth, uh, the lady in black, it is like a servant to the Lucifer. She gives you some lore exposition on some topics that were left untouched in the main narrative of the game. So it fills the blanks on the things that weren't properly explored during, the main story. And I think it is okay. I think that is how, in many ways, DLCs should be. They should fill the gaps of what was left in an unfinished or, for, not perfect game. That thing I pretty much enjoyed. Also, as I stated, that next bad thing about the game that I didn't enjoy is that game is 95% battles. Of course, it is a JRPG. I know it. I know it. Uh, and thankfully for me, there was no, like equipment management. There were only flat stats and abilities, and the demons that you can fuse or recruit or whatever. You know, that is good. But still, you have to fight a lot, a lot. You have to fight a lot in this game, like a lot. Most of the game is you fighting. The animations are fast, and I'm very grateful for it. Believe me, I do. But when you have beaten, like first quarter of the game, and you press an auto battle button during the rest of the game, even so, the game becomes much faster, but still, it was long. It was really long and unnecessarily long, especially when you are, in the late game bullshit dungeons, and I will get to that very soon. It is so annoying. No, as I said before, quarter of the game I beat, and then I noticed that I am fucking strong. I'm very strong. I have gotten a lot of EXP. I almost didn't grind in this game. Well, not specifically grind. I don't want to get into much, of treasure chests in this game, but whoever played knows what I'm talking about. Forgive me. But there is a feature of an auto battle. What it is you press triangle or button on your Xbox controller, and the game plays itself. It's like every demon in your party. The only thing that it does is an melee auto attack on the leftmost demon on the opposing side. Therefore, it's just becomes a fast game of slapping each other. But since I've gotten very strong very fast, and I created a lot, and I had demons that created a lot. it became like very obscene farming tool. I've gotten a lot of experience more, so the game became even more easier, and there were a lot of mid tier demons. We all experienced those, don't deny it. That I have beaten the same way. I didn't even bother by trying some kind of tactics or healing. Yuck. Who does it in mid-tier battles? I just crush them and stomp them, just by the sheer weight of my fist alone. And I think it wasn't really good. Well, one part of me is glad, another part of me is not glad. I think that's the trade-off that you get. You either play without Labyrinth of Amala, and your game is shorter and slightly more balanced, because and I have not experienced that, but I think that usual demons that you confuse during the late game, they have much more in terms of weaknesses and min max capabilities, compared to fiends that are Mary Sue's of the demon world. They have a lot of blocks and repels and resists. They have the whole package, and they diminish from your RPG experience. But since they're so strong, at least the trash runs are fast. But doing trash is never fun. It never was fun during the second half of the game, pretty much at all. The next bad thing. Holy shit, we're talking for 50 hours. Okay, I'm going to speed up. The next bad thing was dungeon design. Holy shit. It's like, I think, and it is my own, that's what I think about. That's not necessarily a fact. That Japanese developers from Atlas or whatever company, if they make JRPG, they're like, who is our target audience? I believe it is that neckbeard Mitsuo, who only does. I noticed that I have a neckbeard today too. Who only does JRPGs all day, every day, and what do these guys like? Grinding, of course. And what can we do to make them have more fun? Oh yes, we can make some bullshit dungeons with very convoluted maps where you can fall through the floor and you end up in a randomized place, and whatever happens you're also fucked. Yeah, we'll make him drop maybe sometimes, not always, sometimes closer to the safe point, but still. Oh, I really want to fuck him in the ass. Oh, I do. Oh, I do. I believe that's what the developers of these dungeons think. And Labyrinth of Amala was, the whole pretty much package was like that, except maybe the first and third Kalpa, but the fourth and fifth one, and to a lesser extent the second one, man, they were annoying. I hated them. I really did. I really did. It was so annoying. It was so long and unnecessarily long. It was stupid. And during the last, boss rush, I wouldn't get into the details, but it's not much of a spoiler that the last dungeon, it's mega dungeon, of course, of the game is one giant tower. During the later part of it, the game just craps onto you all of it. All of the experience that you had is like, you need to, some kind of flashlights, items, you need float balls, you need uh, preferably writing the map yourself, where you get from where. And the map has multiple floors. If you fall through the floor, you're fucked, and it is gargantuan. It was so annoying. I really was mad. And I think it wasn't a fun kind of convoluted. I think the second Kalpa, second level of the Labyrinth of Amala was the most kind of all right, meh kind of experience in that regard. There were some decent, bullshit dungeons, like there was this prison later into the game. It was kind of cool where you transform the place, like putting the floor and the top, switching them around to complete the dungeon. That was pretty cool. But there were also many places that I didn't enjoy. Also, there is a last thing that I have hated, and that is my completionist nature locked me out of the ending that I wanted. Also, those of you who have played the game, those who know the game, maybe they know what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to talk about that anymore because I don't want you, random viewer, to rob you of an experience in this game blind. So, let's discuss, the mixed bag. Some things that are, preferable to taste. Some people would like, some people would not. It is a dungeon-heavy RPG. There's a lot of dungeons. Most of the game is you running from dungeon to the dungeon to the dungeon. And what happens is you get 1 hour of a dungeon, and that you get 2 minute story cutscene. Maybe you will have a two or three choices dialogue option, and that is it. That is it. RPG, role playing experience. You know what that means? That means you're a tool. As I said before, later part of the game compensates on that topic a little bit, but still, you have to be ready for it. You have to be ready. This is not a movie. You can watch it, of course, on YouTube, the cutscene compilation, but I think the experience would not be the same as if you would play it. I think the bullshit of the game mechanics really seals the package of overall experience. The second thing of the mixed bag is press turn system. It is a notorious system. It is a fun system for me, and for hardcore SMT fans, many people like it. Uh, but there is a problem with it because the game doesn't really teach you that system well, how it works. Thank God, thank God, I have completed Metaphor Refantasio last month because 100 hours into that shit made me, remember for life how the system works. Therefore, the whole game of Nocturne, the game that introduced that system, by the way, have became a breeze for me. That is another reason why I cannot recommend this game to beginners to the genre, because this system, it's not well taught to the player, I believe. I think if you have a context of another game, maybe SMT5, but I haven't played it and I don't know much about it. I know that some people really enjoy it, some people are really don't, but still, there are many games with press turn system, and I think you should play another game first and this game later. The third thing, difficulty curve is weird. I mentioned before the Labyrinth of Amala issue, and I talked with some folks on some stream, and the thing is that people like to complain about Matador fight. You know, the first one of the Fiends, as I mentioned. It made them drop the game uh, because it was that hard. It was very big curve from the very flat line at that point. Um, Game throws you some, softballs in start. Then it give you some difficult spots, but then games become, very easy until the very last boss rush. And as some people mentioned, that is pretty much the usual thing for Atlas. That game can start much harder than it ends, and you have to be prepared for that. The last thing about the mixed bag is pretty much the same as I said about difficulty curve. The narrative starts slow, but it becomes much better towards the end. So it kind of like this, difficulty is here, the understanding of the story is here, and they kind of cross during the end, and narrative becomes really good, and the difficulty becomes trivial. Um, Not always, the late game bosses have given me some, some things, to think about. That was all right. I think they were okay, even though some of the bosses I really didn't understand, and I accidentally cheesed him. So yeah, that's what it is, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Fucking metaphor. Nocturne, of course. I'm talking about an hour. Jesus. So my closing thoughts is that I have very much enjoyed myself. I cannot recommend this game specifically to anyone. I think this game is very good for some people, who could really enjoy it. I think other people should either develop some tolerance to Japanese bullshit. And I mean like game design bullshit, or find some taste towards it before enjoying it. And still, I think the game's aesthetics, game's narrative choices, game's game design choices, they are not towards mass consumer. I think it is a niche title for a niche fan base, and I am glad that it is. I think we need more niche titles. Many times, game developers have tried to pursue a wider audience, and they have lost what made them special. For me, the main example of that is Warcraft franchise, because you have a Warcraft 1 to 3 when there are fucking ghouls, there's blood everywhere, people cutting each other's heads off, and modern World of Warcraft, and it is a fucking cartoon when the horde is run by a oligarchy. There is no war chief. What the hell? I don't want to rant about it, but you understand my point. When developers try to pursue wider audience, they lose the core audience that was the most loyal one and the most productive one for them. I think being niche is still being cool. They have thankfully more of a normie title of persona that can get more wider audience for them, even though it's still not for everyone, I believe, as well. But it is not as niche as this game. So yeah, I would really recommend this game to you if you are willing to go through the journey to hell, and spit some gods in faces, and crush their kneecaps or whatever. I really like this spirit of the game. I really do. Would I play this game again? Is another question, and never say never. That what I always that's the motto that I'm trying to hold on to. But this 50 hours run was so exhausting for me that I know that it wouldn't happen soon. And the my enjoyment of aesthetics and some of the choices is not enough for me to slog on through uh, the gameplay basically. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. uh, it would be easier for me to watch some old cutscenes on YouTube, or just play next game in the series. For me, I always wanted to play SMT1 because I really enjoyed ending theme of it. It is very charming. I suggest you listen to it if you want to hear something beautiful. um, I really enjoy the spirit of these games because, of course, different games have different themes, and SMT3 is unlike previous SMTs and the latter ones as well, in many ways. So yeah, if I would get craving for the same kind of itch in the same kind of place, I would most likely play a new game for me. Also, I heard that Digital Devil Saga games are very good, even better than Nocturne, and they are basically made on the same engine, and they have mostly the same battle system. Uh, so yeah, I'm. I wish that Atlas would HD remaster them as well. So, what is next? Well, first off, I am very glad that several days ago Overwatch 1 was out. Uh, it is still hilarious to me that they have dropped these Overwatch 2 marker, because I really never understood why they did it, the Overwatch 2. Because if they are not committing to these cooperative PvE experience, um, why bother? Just why? And this time, the last several years, because I have played Overwatch 2, many people would say that Overwatch 2 betrayed them, they have dropped it, and the game became bad, na 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 na. From my experience, before Overwatch 2 came out, there were 2 years or 1.5 year of content drought. The last hero I believe was Echo, and there was, nothing came out. Nothing came out. And the balance was shit. I hated it. I hate Moira still and some characters still, but thankfully, over the years, most of the characters have been balanced much better. Also, since the release of Overwatch 2, there were released a lot of good characters. There were some characters that I like because of the mechanics, but in terms of aesthetics, I detest them. They look really out of place, and right now, I almost don't care because I've seen that they're trying to do something new in terms of narrative of the game, some new narrative direction. But it's tough to me to follow it, because it contradicts the original vision of Overwatch that I had, and I believe that original um, developers wanted, Jeff Kaplan team. So yeah, that sucks. But since I have played Overwatch 2 for those years, not caring about that, I still don't care about it, and I experienced the game. I experienced the game as it is, and they have added 5 heroes. I believe what happened was that Blizzard, or Activision more specifically, they have finally seen that the major part of the player base of Overwatch was not, those who spend most of their time parading with flags, but those who sit at home and play games. And they have decided to, switch it up and to pull direction, pull attention to the game. They have dropped the two and made a very major patch. But what they also needed is new characters, new content, and they have added 5 of them. Five. Even what some people, think were the golden days of Overwatch. There were only 3 characters per year at best. And here there are 5. That is very good, and I have played with them, and I really like design decisions of some of them. I think some of them are, just many ideas thrown, into the same bucket, and some of them are really cool on paper, but I haven't tested them much, in my hands. But still, I have spent an entire evening with the pal of mine a couple of days ago, and we had a blast. I think I would play it today again. Uh, that is concerning Overwatch 2. But concerning the main meat of the channel, I think I should make an Overwatch video soon. That is a good idea. But I mostly speak on this channel about single player experience, traditional video games. And let's keep the ball rolling. And I think the next game that I am going to do is Yakuza 6. It's time that I tackle it. I bought it last month, knowing that it is time for me to do it. I heard that it is shorter than Yakuza Kiwami 2, and it has a same, battle system and, everything about it. So these are things that I am glad to hear in some ways. In some ways. Also, it is a formal ending, at least it was at the time of Kazuma Kiryu's story. I like Kiryu, as many people do, but after playing Yakuza 7, I am really itching to get back to Ichiban Kasuga, the new protagonist of Yakuza series. I have really fallen under his charm. He's such a nice guy. I wish I could play, more games with him. Therefore, I have to play Yakuza 6 because it lays a great groundwork towards Yakuza 8. And of course, a spin off game, The Man Who Forgot His Name, Yakuza Gaiden, which I also bought, and I intend to finish it before Yakuza 8. Therefore, this is my, intended journey is Yakuza 6, Yakuza Gaiden, and then Yakuza 8. Maybe if I will decide to take a break in the curious stories because there are a lot of things I think I like about these games, but I think there are some things that I could really mix it up. I might buy myself a First Judgment game and try it out. It is not a part of the kind of the main narrative of Yakuza series, but it is in the same universe. It has a lot of the same assets, a lot of the same mood, wackiness of the Japanese modern pop culture, and that what I really enjoy. Therefore, for now, I think I will play Yakuza 6. After that, I think I will play something else. Or if I will complete Yakuza 6 relatively fast and I will still have some appetite for that kind of gameplay, I will go to the Judgment directly after the Yakuza 6. Yeah, that's pretty much my plan for now. There are, of course, a lot of other different games that I can tackle, and there are many games on my kind of bucket list. But you gotta take them one step at a time. And I'm glad that SMT and Metaphor, but metaphor, fucking Metaphor, they have given me a break from the Yakuza series, so I would not tire myself out too much because I really enjoy these games, but I like, I can't do only one thing and enjoy the same. If you eat chicken nuggets every day, you are getting sick with the taste of chicken. You have to mix it up. So that's what I am thinking about. So for now, guess that is about it. If somehow, some way, be it in February of 2026 or some other years, you have stumbled upon this video and watched it entirely, I'm very glad that someone would give attention to my mad ramblings. Thank you. And yeah, I'm glad to interact. If anyone has something to say, I am ready for a discussion. For something that I overlooked, also you can mention. And yeah, I hope to see you around. Thank you.